the open. All-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy, Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I want to turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stop pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's from pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits. That TTG money gang,
and making profits.
We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. It's another day. It's another earnings day, which means it's another live stream. And you're going to get some live coverage of a ton of different earnings announcements. We've got LYFT, Dutch Bros, LYFT, Airbnb, AppLovin, DraftKings, IONQ, Joby, DoorDash, Fortnite, Sunrun. The list goes on and on. Many stocks that we trade here in the TTG community, many stocks that we own in the long-term portfolio in the True Trading Group community. So we're going to go through, we're going to break down, analyze all of those earnings with you here live and talk about where we see some trading opportunities to possibly make some money on these stocks for tomorrow. Today was a fantastic day for us inside chat. Trade of the day for me was short HIMS after their earnings and a strong bearish candle and rejection on HIMS in yesterday's price action following those earnings. And that gave us the confidence to go ahead and short that stock here today. Stock rolled over down actually 7.5% today for HIMS. That is trade of the day for us. Took some more profit off on our MP swing trade at 70. We're long that from just underneath 63. Took some more profit on that. This is just some updates in case you've been following along with these positions over the last couple of live streams. I always share with you what I'm doing, right? I share with you the positions I'm in. I share with you positions I'm going to be getting into. We're not just Monday morning quarterbacks here. We talk about what we think the markets are going to do, what we think individual stocks are going to do. And I tell you guys how I plan on positioning myself to make some money from it. So if you're new to this live stream, welcome. Smash that like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel, most importantly. And you might be wondering who the hell I am and why I should listen to anything it is that we discuss here. First, I'll give you my name. It's Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you guys did not know, True Trading Group literally exists to help you to learn faster, trade smarter, and to profit sooner. It's what we're going to do here on this live stream. We are proud to be powered by the NASDAQ, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, DataBento, and Unusual Whales. You see, True Trading Group is an award-winning platform. We received the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. And no matter where you are in your trading career, no matter how much experience you have or don't have, how much money you have or don't have, no matter if you failed in the past or you're just trying to get started now for the first time, whatever it is, True Trading Group is a platform that is built on education that's backed by true real experience. We have over 8 professional traders that are moderators at TTG. We have our strategies that are proven through decades of success and tools and resources that actually think and are customized to you, the end user. Hence the Global Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. So members of TTG are smart is something real special. I'm happy to be on this journey with each and every single one of them. As it goes for myself, I don't think you should listen to me because I believe that I'm the world's greatest trader. I think you should listen to what I talk about because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I was trained by professionals on Wall Street. My very first job at college was working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. While there, they had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. And then shortly after that, 2008 happened. And that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but it's also the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, along with the 8 other professional trading mods and over 30-person staff. We have helped thousands of members from all over the world reach their goals. True Trading Group has over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. Truly a global community here at True Trading Group. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. We trade stocks, options, crypto, and futures. Literally something for everybody here at True Trading Group. So again, if you are new, smash the like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the earnings. It's what you were all here for. Before I get into earnings, actually, we'll talk about the overall market. I still don't have any confirmation as far as whether or not this 632 resistance level has been reestablished or if it has, or if it's held. We had a support level here around 631 to 632 on the SPY. We gapped underneath that on Friday, rallied into it on Monday, couldn't break through it. Pulled back off of it on Tuesday, rallied back into it today on Wednesday. But we still have not cleared that level out. Clearing that level out would take us north of around 634. We have not yet done so. So as it stands here with regards to the overall market, I am still a little bit more of a neutral stance on the market until I get some form of confirmation on whether or not the 632 level has either been reestablished as support or if it's going to give us a clean, clear rejection. I will tell you that I do think that it is nice to see the markets rally back into that resistance level after pulling back away from them yesterday, but I still don't have any confirmation or conviction on whether or not we have cleared this level back out or if it's going to help us be resistance and roll back down into the 620. So I will certainly let you guys know once I feel differently about the overall markets and where we are right there. So that is that. Let's get into some of the earnings here that we have. First one, I see a bunch of people talking about Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros is flying right now to the upside. I actually think that this is a decent play. Good company. All the rave by people that have been to a Dutch Bros. I've actually never been to one. I saw one once, I think, when I was in Arizona, but I've never been to one. I don't even think they have any on the East Coast, or at least where I live. I've never seen them. I'm pretty sure they're Western or Central to Western, so I haven't really seen any. So I've never been to one. But everyone that has nothing but good things to say about it. Stock's up 15% right now on the day. As you can see, a huge rally move here right up to the upside there on Dutch Bros. So let's go through some of the earnings numbers that we have. This is a top and bottom line beat on Dutch Bros. 26 cents versus 18 cents a share. Sales come in at 416 million. Analysts were only expecting 403 million. They raised their full year guidance to 1.59 to 1.6 billion. Analysts were expecting 1.585 billion. And that is giving you a gap up here and a rally of 15% on the day, up a little bit less than that in the after hours session. And if we look at this, I think you're better off going to a weekly chart to take a look at this. And what I see here when I take a look at this weekly chart is tremendous support down there in the low to mid 50s. And you're almost forming a little bit of a wedge here on the weekly chart. And then here's this 50 period moving average here on the weekly chart. You can see beautiful support there in April, and then beautiful support right there, guys, the last 2 weeks, right? And now back to the upside. So I would say to continue to play out through that range. And I think that, this mid to low 50s is a beautiful level of support. And we'll see if Dutch Bros is maybe a name that can give you a little bit more upside there. This will not most likely will not be on my watch list for trades for tomorrow. Dutch Bros is not necessarily known for being, a really good day trading stock. You had a lot of volatility there earlier this year, but the last 2 months, it's been extremely choppy. So I feel like the better days to have traded Dutch Bros was probably, January, February, March. There's a ton of volatility there. Now with earnings, you'll have elevated volatility, potential support at 65. 65 is a level. Let's go through and just talk about it. I'll draw it out for you so you guys can start to see, how we identify support and resistance levels, so it becomes easier for you guys to see. Very clear level here. You guys can see resistance back here, okay, in April and May, and then you gapped above it, and then it became support, right? Support, and then you broke underneath it, and then you can see very plainly and clearly resistance, right? Their 100-day moving average was sitting right there also at that area, which is right around 65. And right now you're trading above it to 66. A clear out takes you above 67. And if you get to 67 or higher, you would then look for 65 to be a new level of support. And then you would look for this next price structure area of 71 to become your target. So if we can clear out 66, 67, I'd say then at that point, you look for 65 to be support, and you can target longs up towards 71. But I would wait for tomorrow. I would wait and see, after the conference call, I would wait and see tomorrow, where does the stock open up? Because what I don't want to do is I would not want to say, hey, stock's at 65.20, let's go long there off the bell, and it just drops straight down back to 62, which would be your next support level, would be 62 if you get underneath 65. So we're going to wait for this to see if you can clear that level out, let it clear 66, 67. If so, you then look for support back against 65. You can have stop losses underneath 65. All right, that's what I would say there as it relates to Dutch Bros. Let's just keep it going on the earnings. As we say that, we're getting a little bit more of a push higher here on Dutch Bros. There you go. Now we're starting to get through 66 now. Again, clearing 67, I would say, gets you through that resistance level. All right, next up, another name that everybody knows all too well, IONQ. Stock trading down right now, 4% on the day. Let's go through the earnings numbers here. IONQ is a miss on earnings per share. They lost 70 cents a share. Analysts were expecting them to only lose 27 cents. And sales come in at 20.7 million. That is a beat. Analysts were only expecting 17 million. 17.23 million was the analyst expectations, and we come in at 20.7. That's a nice beat on sales. It's a very nice beat there on sales. Okay. And they also have some pretty good guidance. They guided to 82 to 100 million for the full year, and analysts are only expecting 84 million. So they raised guidance. They missed on earnings per share. It's a big miss on earnings per share too, and a nice beat there on sales. So not a bad report, not a great report. Nonetheless, stock is trading down. It is a very heavily shorted name. These quantum stocks all are. And when you look at the consolidation that IONQ has been through for the last 2.5 months, my goodness, we are literally just going sideways. There is no price direction. There is no momentum. You are just consolidating and going sideways. And this box is when I think you would trade this, would be a breakout of this box. It is such a very obvious area here. We actually ran through our AI charting software with you guys here on the live stream just the other day, showing you how our AI system is fully integrated into real-time charts. It's not, there's a lot of other softwares out there. You can take a picture of a chart and it can load it up and it can scan it and give you an analysis. Our analysis is real-time on charts as you are going through your analysis. You don't have to take a screenshot of it. It just has full context of what you're looking at. And as you're changing your chart or you're looking at different things, you can analyze everything in real-time, support, resistance, chart patterns, candlesticks, the whole nine. And we have very obvious resistance up at 48 and very obvious support down at 36. Those are major levels. Those major levels form this consolidation this trading range that you see here on my screen for the last 2.5 months. Okay. And with the earnings from today, nothing's changed. You're still within this consolidation, still within this range. I think you should be careful trying to diddle in the middle of this range. I think 36 is going to be where you look for longs. 48 is where you look for shorts until one of those levels breaks to give you actual directional move. A break above 48, 49 resistance could possibly trigger a short squeeze, as the name is heavily shorted, as is the entire quantum space. But I think it's more likely that this probably pulls back into the low 30s than it is squeezes up into the high 50s. But you never know with these stocks when they have high short positions. If those shorts get caught with the wrong piece of news or whatever it is, you can get, one of those outsized moves. Happens all the time, but I'm leaning towards more downside there in the entire quantum space, not just in IONQ. I don't have any short positions on them right now, but those are my thoughts when it comes to IONQ and the rest of the quantum names: QBTS, QUBT, RGTI, just to name some of the others. Okay. Next up, another name that I know a lot of people focus on, and that is JOBY. And what a disgusting, pathetic earnings report that you just got from Joby. Why this stock is trading at $19 and, is beyond me. I get it. I get the news cycle. I get the drones. I get all of these things. The company reported $15,000 in sales. I mean, analysts were expecting 43,000. You heard me correctly, $15,000 in sales. Earnings per share is a miss at 40. They lost 41 cents. Analysts were expecting them to lose 19 cents. I mean, what else more is there to say? What else more can I say about it? No, it's not a stock I own in my long-term portfolio. Will I maybe someday? I don't know. Will that day be when they make $15,000 in sales in a quarter? No. So it's a great stock to trade. It's a great stock to trade because, I think the retail community went nuts over this thing. It was heavily shorted. You can only imagine why. A company that has $15,000 in sales, the stock went from $6 to $21. Went up 350% in a matter of 3 months. So, you can understand why the stock is heavily shorted. But I can't bring myself to buy something like this in my long-term portfolio. I think it eventually comes back down to earth, no pun intended there. But, I think this thing eventually pulls itself back to like $14. But these short positions, again, you just got to be careful. You got to be careful with these short positions. But I'm looking for this to drop back underneath 18 and then continue to trade lower. I'm looking for some of the short squeeze and the momentum to kind of get sucked out of this name. But please be careful if you're trying to short like the quantum names, you're trying to short these aviation names or these drone names, is because they're already very, very heavily shorted. And if retail traders just keep piling on these things, man, you could be, shorts could be forced to cover through margin calls or whatever it is. And that can really get you jammed up. So just make sure you control your risk if you're going to go after any trades that are like that. Okay. But I mean, that's just a horrible earnings report for Joby. All right, let's keep going. Another one that, people like is DraftKings, right? You got the NFL season is going to be starting up here pretty soon. That's obviously prime time for DraftKings and DraftKings. We'll see what we've got here. DraftKings is a top and bottom line beat, and it's a nice beat, folks. It is a nice beat. 38 cents a share versus 12 cents a share. That's earnings per share. And sales come in at 1.51 billion. And analysts were only expecting 1.39 billion. So that is a nice beat there for DraftKings. Stock is up 6% on the day, trading a little bit off the highs. You got all the way to 49.50 on the earnings print, now back to 47 and change. But, I think you just, when it comes to DraftKings, tons of resistance up there around 50 to, low 50s. But I don't know. That's a pretty good earnings report. They did affirm their guidance. They didn't raise guidance. They affirmed it. 6.2 to 6.4 billion. Analysts expecting 6.27 billion. So kind of in line with the guide for the full year. Maybe that's why the stock's not up more. I think if they were to raise that guidance going into the NFL season, maybe you got a bit of a bump there that would have taken this thing maybe north of 50. But reaffirming their guidance and a top and bottom line beat for the quarter there for DraftKings. All right, next up, let's go to another name that has a pretty decent short position on it, and that is App11. And App11 is trading now down 4.5% on the day. Very wild whiplash type of action here in the after hours as the earnings report comes through. And let's go through it. They see Q3 sales 1.32 to 1.34 billion versus analyst expectations of 1.336 billion. They missed on sales. Okay, so earnings per share is a beat, $2.39 versus $2.04, but sales missed 1.258 billion against 1.307 billion was expected. And that's got the stock trading down 5% now on the day. It's down more than that after hours because we did close, decently in the green today. But on the day, you're down 5% right now for App11. All right. This stock has a pretty decent short position on it with a big support level at 320. If you guys recall, back in like February and March, a couple of different companies put out short reports on App11, making some pretty bold claims. The stock has since rallied back and traded higher since those short reports were issued. And that short position has just kind of been building up there on App11 with the back of those reports. Big support level of 320. I'll draw the line across my screen so you guys can see it. Okay. You had the gap up there in May, became support again here in June, support again there in July. And now you have this purple and yellow line right at that level. And that's the 100 and the 200-day moving average. And that's giving you some support. You dropped into that area right off the earnings print and then snapped back pretty violently, back up another $30 or so. You dropped into like 330 and snapped it back to 360 as that is a really nice support level. So right now, heavy resistance, major levels, 400 major level resistance, 325 or so, 320s, major support there for App11. This might be something I have on my watch list for tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on App11. I'll keep an eye on DraftKings. Just going through some of the earnings announcements that I will look for trades for tomorrow. I'll probably also look at Joby tomorrow as well. IONQ are a couple of names that I will look at there for the day trade for tomorrow. All right, that is App11. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Like I said, a lot of earnings here today. We've got Airbnb, a name we have not talked about in a while that is testing a major level at 125. 125 major support here for Airbnb. Airbnb is a top and bottom line beat. They beat earnings per share $1.03 versus 93 cents. Sales coming in 3.1 billion. Analysts expecting 3.03 billion. They see Q3 sales of 4.02 to 4.1 billion. Analysts expecting 4.03 billion. And they actually are adding to their stock buyback. And the stock's down. This is actually a pretty good report. And the stock is trading lower right now. Maybe just some cause for concern with maybe the economy or the consumer. But this is not a bad earnings report. And you are testing a major support level right now at 125. But a top and bottom line beat, a beat on guidance as well. You got their a buyback, increase in their share buyback program. There's not much to not like Not much to not like about the support. 125, you guys can see on my screen, previous resistance back here from the end of April, and then you got above it in May, support there in May. Now you're dropping back into that level here now on the back of earnings. So this is going to be a key test of 125 there for Airbnb. If that level gets taken out, you could have some room there down to like 118 to 120 possible support there for Airbnb. Then we have Duolingo. I like saying this company. I don't know why. Duolingo is trading up 16% on the day. Let's go through those earnings. This is interesting. So they beat earnings per share. They missed on sales. Earnings per share 72 cents against 58 cents. Sales 231 million against 241 million was expected. They see Q3 revenue, and here's why the stock is up. Guidance. Guidance matters more than the quarter. Q3 guidance, 257 to 261 million. Analysts were only expecting 253 million. Here comes their guidance for the full year. They raised it to 1.01 to 1.02 billion, crossing the $1 billion threshold. I believe, don't quote me, I believe that would be the first year that Duolingo crosses $1 billion in sales. Okay. But analysts were only expecting 997 million. Oh, well, there's a correction. Guys, wait, they issued a correction. I take it back. So they just issued a correction at 435. I got a correction here. Duolingo is actually a top and bottom line beat. That was an error on the first initial print. The first initial print had sales at 231 million, but the real number, this is the correction, sales come in at 252 million. Analysts only expecting 241 million. So this is a top and bottom line beat for Duolingo. And they obviously raised guidance, and that's why the stock is trading up 16% now currently on the day. And now we're going to keep it going. Like I said, guys, we have a lot of earnings today. LYFT. LYFT trading to the downside following their earnings. And the numbers are a beat on top and bottom line, slight beats, 89 cents versus 84 cents. Sales, 354 million. Analysts expecting 349.5 million. I got to get a guide. I don't have a guide for LYFT here just yet. So their guidance is in line. Yeah. So I guess, stock is basically flat. I mean, you're down less than 1% on the day. The stock closed flat and is basically, you're $1 away from where the stock was prior to, you're $1 where you were prior to the earnings release. So pretty volatile after hours session. You went all the way to 125, back to 104. But again, another stock that I really don't trade. As far as support levels, massive level at 100. Massive. Okay. Massive level at 100. I will draw it out for you in case you guys can't see it. There it is. Double bottom support from October and November of last year. Support there in January. Then you broke it, rallied back, gapped above it in May. And then now you have the 200-day moving average sitting at 100, and you just had a golden cross take place a couple of weeks ago. So I would say you look for that $100 level to become support and see if LYFT can pop its way back up towards 120. Last, a couple more. DoorDash, new all-time high. New all-time high for DoorDash. Let's hit on this one. Top and bottom line beat, 65 cents versus 43 cents expected. 3.28 billion versus 3.16 billion was expected, and that's got DoorDash gapping up to a new all-time high. Now, we have taken out the previous double top all-time high we had in the mid-250s. So see mid-250s, you had resistance back here in 2021, and then double top here back in 2021. That was your previous all-time high. Stocks sold off, rallied all the way back over the last 3 years. And now on earnings, you've cleared it. So now any pullback into the 250s, you look for that to be support, as you now have a fundamental catalyst with earnings gapping you back above that prior all-time high. All right, that's DoorDash. And last but not least, Fortinet. Fortinet, one of my 3 cybersecurity holdings. I own CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, and Fortinet. Fortinet being the smallest of the 3, CrowdStrike being the largest. So let's go through Fortinet. Fortinet is a top and bottom line beat. They beat on earnings per share 64 cents versus 59 cents. And sales come in at 1.63 versus analysts were expecting 1.625. So very, very, very small beat there on sales, a decent beat. It's a small beat on both. Honestly, it's top and bottom line beat, but it's small. The stock has just basically been consolidating for the last several months. If you go to a weekly chart, you'll be able to see this set up much, 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 much better. What I think here about Fortinet is you've established a new trading range, okay? Now, what you'll notice is that for about 3.5 years, the stock just basically went sideways and just kind of built up a nice little consolidation channel here in the 50s and 60s. Then in 2024, you broke that out and you cleared it. And then you pulled all the way back down into that level during the April sell-off, and then you held it, right? Now you're still sitting here. I still believe that anywhere in the 80s is a good buy there on Fortinet. I think your risk is probably down to 70. If it gets under 70, you can probably stop out of the position. But I think Fortinet is one that's, a pretty decent play for the long term. I think it's a stock that belongs over $100 a share in the next couple of years. Maybe make that new all-time high. But I would look for that $75 area that was resistance for a few years that you see on my chart. I would look for that area to continue to hold as support, and then see if there's maybe a move there. For those of you that are looking at, maybe some longer term portfolio positions. Like I said, I own from a cybersecurity standpoint, I own CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, and I also own Fortinet. All right. All right. All right. So that's up. We got LYFT. I don't care about LYFT. I don't care about LYFT. I don't care about Sunrun. So just a couple of other companies. Like I said, today's just a huge earnings day. Just a lot of stocks, a lot of companies reporting earnings here today. And that's it, folks. That's it. Congratulations on MP. We took more profits off today at 70. We got into this trade on Friday at 62.94. It's been a beautiful trade for us. I'm down to a runner. I'm in only 10% of my position now. It's been a wonderful trade. Wonderful trade. 65 will be the stop on the last piece for the final take profit. Otherwise, we'll look to just see if we can continue higher into the 70s. And then we have HIMS today. HIMS was a beaut. Right? HIMS was a beaut. We stepped in today and shorted HIMS after we got that big reversal candle yesterday on earnings. You see we shot all the way up, filled the gap, and put in this massive tail. And I said, all right, we're going to short this thing down into 52 support. And then I'll just take it to the intraday. We dropped into 52 support. 52 is a major support level. I'll go back to the daily chart to show it to you. So here you guys can go. Here's daily chart, right? There's 52 resistance. Here's 52 support. Here's 52 resistance. Then we broke through it a couple of weeks ago. Now you're dropping back into it. So we're saying to myself, what I'm saying is following its earnings, I say, I think this level breaks, but you're probably going to bounce off of it first. So we waited to get to 52. There it is. There's the bottom. You then bounce. And I stepped in. I shorted it right inside here, inside of this red candle. It was a beautiful sniper entry point. My stop loss was 55. So here was the stop. There we took the trade short, and it just rolled over. Just rolled over. We took profits here, and we took more profits here as the thing just rolled over into the close. All right. So I'm still short some of this position. I will stop out the remainder of this position, probably if we still same area, 55. My target is if we can stay underneath 52, because 52 is support, my target is eventually like 47.5. Okay, so this area here is my target. Maybe it takes 1, 2, 3 days to get there, but that is my final target on the trade. All right, and it was a beauty today. It was a really great trade. We did very, very well. Another really great trade for us today was actually thanks to Mari, our AI system was able to identify the long setup there for Palantir. Palantir was screaming across on the system today. A lot of our members were able to capitalize on call options on Palantir today on the back of the earnings release yesterday. Moved to new all-time highs today. It was a beautiful TTG triangle setup this morning that our AI was able to call out for us. And the TTG triangle, for those of you that are experienced traders, it's not just something, I mean, I made up the name, but it's not like a made up pattern. It's essentially a specific variance of the common ABCD pattern setup. It's a type of that when specific criteria are met. And I call it a TTD triangle. It's my favorite pattern. It's my favorite setup. It's an extremely high probability setup that offers great risk reward. And our AI is completely trained to identify it, and it was able to call it out today on Palantir. And our members were able to get into some call options underneath 174, some of them right at 174. Some bought the 175, the 176, or whatever the strike was. And then we ran all the way to 180. So it was a really great trade. Palantir on the back of the AI. And speaking of that, I'd just love to see it. I just want to see a quick show of hands for members of TTG that are on this live stream. If you guys are making money with True Trading Group, you're making money with the AI platform. If this fintech platform that is True Trading Group is helping you guys to be profitable and make money and become better traders, I want you to go ahead, sound off, and type the number 1 inside chat right now. Anybody that's on this live stream that is not a member, pay very close attention to how many people you're about to see type number 1, because these are your friends, your family members, and your coworkers. And if they can do this, if they can make money, then you can too. There's no reason why they can and you can't. They're not luckier than you. They don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. So if they can do this, so can you. All right? No excuses. Right? No excuses. You can see all these people that are typing number 1. No excuses. All right? Now, my members, all of you that are members of True Trading Group, do not forget, I am going to be hosting a very special Red to Green workshop back inside main chat. Immediately following this live stream, you can head back into main chat. I'll take a quick break, go to the bathroom, refill my water, maybe get an espresso, and then I'll come back into the main chat and we'll host a Red to Green workshop, totally free for our members. So all of our members, make sure you guys head back into the main chat. Those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, I have a challenge for you if you dare to accept. I'm going to have you join True Trading Group for an entire year and use our AI system for $599 for the entire year. If you cannot make the $599 fee back at least one time during that membership, I will give you back double, $1,198. It is right there on the checkout page. It is on our website. It is in black and white. Go read it. It is our double your money back guarantee. I stand behind the platform that we have created. I believe in it strongly and its ability to help you reach your goals. I see what members, the success that other members are having. That is my challenge. All I ask is you go through the courses, pass the quizzes, and use the AI platform. And if you still cannot make back the $599 at least once, I'll give you back double. Go to ttgoffer.com if you accept that challenge. Everything on ttgoffer.com is included for your annual membership for the entire year. You will get access to Mari, the core tier version of Mari. Mari is our AI platform that was the recipient of the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. Now, we do have higher level tiers of AI. We have an AI Pro tier. Now, it does cost more money for the higher tier of the AI, but I'm saying don't go ahead and buy that right now. Use what you get for the $599. See if you like it. See if it helps you make money, and then you decide if you want to increase, you want to upgrade, you want to get access to the additional perks and the additional tools and capabilities of the higher AI Pro. Great. At that time, you can do so. We'll help you do it. Perfect. For now, go join the annual membership for $599. If you can't make that $599 back, we'll give you double. Go through the courses, pass the quizzes, use the AI. Still can't make $599, we'll give you the money back guarantee. Or I'll give you a free year if you want a free year. I don't care. That's our commitment to you. That is my challenge to anyone that's on this live stream that is not a member. You have any questions, text us, 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. Anything you see on ttgoffer.com, that is all included. All of our courses, Benzing the Pros newsfeed, Trading Views premium charting software, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, congressional trading data. It is all included for $5.99. Come check it out. Use the platform. TTD is not just a chat room with trade alerts. We are an entire fintech platform that is the retail version of the Bloomberg terminal. It gives our retail traders access to tools, resources, and data feeds that otherwise retail traders simply do not have access to, or that you would have to pay a significant amount of money to have access to. When you join TTG, you don't need to pay for them anymore. It's included in your annual membership. That is ttgoffer.com. Text us with questions. Members, you can head back on over to main chat. Red to Green workshop coming up on deck. Yours truly hosting. I'll see you guys all there. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out with me for an earnings analysis on this live stream. I will see you all later. Members, over into main chat. See you guys then.